Welcome back to our 6th lesson in our 4th unit of our grade 11 University College math course. This is trigonometry, and this is the continuation of our lesson on the cosine law. So we've already looked at the first of the two instances where we would use cosine law, which is where we're given two sides and a contained angle, so the angle between them, i.e. we don't have any side angle pairs and we can't go about getting one using the sum of interior angles. Second occasion for us to use the cosine law is when we are given three sides. So I've sketched it out here as I usually do. So this would be a good time to hit pause, kind of fill this in so you're ready to start doing the math along with me. So go ahead, do that now. Once you're done that, let's have a look at this. We have our triangle DEF. You'll notice right off the bat that we have three sides. And this obviously means we don't have any side angle pairs. So that leaves us with the cosine law to use and to find an angle. Now, because we've been asked to solve this whole triangle DEF, if you remember from the first video, all the way up at the top, we need to be finding the largest angle first. And the largest angle will be across from our largest side. So in this triangle, our largest side is side little d at 41. So we are going to then, first, we are going to find angle D. And I'm going to write out the cosine law for an angle. So angle D will equal, and I'm going to use the variables that we've been given in this question to fill it in. So we'll be using e squared plus f squared minus d squared squared all over 2EF. I'm going to make that squared look a little more like a number. There we go. And now we're going to do some substitution. So side little e is going to be 32. So that'll be 32 squared plus 21 squared minus 41 squared all over 2 times 32 times 21. Now, you've heard me say on many an occasion that it is really good to just do all the calculations in one fell swoop and just get it done. It minimizes rounding. I would say that this is probably an exception to that. And the reason is that because we're just squaring and adding and multiplying numbers, we're not going to end up with anything that needs rounding. So for me, just because the calculation can be a little bit tricky to sort of do two different sets of brackets, I usually just type this in, finish the numerator, then finish the denominator, and then type that into my calculator while using the cos -1 of that particular ratio. So let's type it in, 32 squared plus 21 squared minus 41 squared equals. Now again, some students panic a little bit here because they see that we've ended up with a negative numerator, and that's totally okay. What this tells us is that this value that that angle D that we're looking for, it will be larger than 90 degrees. That's what this is telling us. The why of how that works is not something, unfortunately, that we cover here in our class, but you would cover this in 11U. And yeah, if you're heading that route, you'll get to find out why. And if you're super curious, I guess you can look it up online, but you know. All right, 1,344 is our denominator. So now I'm going to type that into my calculator. So I'm going to type out the cos -1 open bracket of -216 divided by 1,344, close my bracket, equals 99 degrees approximately. And that again is in line with having a negative ratio here overall. So let's pop that 99 in for angle D right there. 99 degrees. Now we have a side angle pair. So let's go ahead and find, well, let's just follow the alphabet. Let's go find angle E next. And I'm going to do a better job of spacing my calculations out this time. So we're going to find angle E next. And I would use the sine law. Again, you're welcome to use the cosine law if you like. But sine law for sure, once you're partway in here, will work just fine. So we have the sine of 99, actually I'll do it with letters first. So the sine of D over D equals the sine of E over E. And now we do some substitution. So the sine of 99 degrees over 41 will be equal to the sine of angle E, unknown, over side little e, which is 32. So there's our variable up over here. So let's cross multiply to isolate our variable. So we have 41 times the sine of angle E equals 32 times the sine of 99 degrees. So our variable is angle E. We don't know what that is. So we are going to begin isolating that by dividing both sides by 41. And now we have just sine E left. Sine of angle E is equal to all this garbage here. In order to get to angle E, we need to take the inverse sine. So if we take the inverse sine of all of this, that will lead us to our correct answer. So I'm just going to rewrite this one more time just so we can maintain moderately good form. And we are going to type this into our calculator. So we have 32 times sine 99 equals, divided by 41 equals, second function sine equals, and that gives us 50 degrees approximately. And I will put that in my table as well. There's 50 degrees. Now angle F, again, nice and straightforward. It's nice when you have two angles and you're trying to find the third. We are going to find angle F. And angle F, of course, will be equal to 180 degrees minus the 99 degrees that we found, minus the 50 degrees that we found, and pop that into the old calculator. So we have 180 minus 99 minus 50 is going to give us 31 degrees approximately. And I'll pop that in the table as well. Okay, and before we're done with this question, again, let's have a quick look at our answers and see if any of them are crazy. So what is our largest angle? That was 99. Is it across from our largest side? It is. What is our smallest angle? 31. Is it across from our smallest side? It is. Dummy check complete. Nothing crazy about the answers that we got out of our calculator. So that's the end of our lesson on the cosine law. The homework is there at the bottom. After this is sort of the last lesson of like new stuff. The lesson that's going to follow is really about just figuring out which tools to use based on what you've been given in particular questions. So we're nearing the end of this unit. Good luck with the homework, and we'll see you in lesson number 7.